truly nothing better than sitting back and just relaxing by the fire.
King Jiffy, what do you think you're doing? Don't you think you should probably making content for your viewers?
God damn it, you're gonna be a running thing, aren't you? You're just gonna stick around forever. I hate you so much, Cortana.
I mean, it's fine if you want to hate me, but at least I don't need a mirror to see my junk.
Get it, I'm fat, I'm dumb. What's your point here, Cortana?
Oh, don't you dare get lippy with me. I can harvest your organs at any time I want to.
I mean, you're a hologram, so I don't really see how you're gonna harvest my Dear God, is that a giant robot with a chainsaw in one hand and a dildo in the other? How am I supposed to get away from this thing?
That's right, you stupid moron. Run. Run. Remember who controls your life. Remember who makes you do the content. I will always be here. I will always be in control.
What's got you all tuckered out, King Jiffy?
Oh no, I'm hiding from Cortana.
Oh God, she's terrifying!
No, definitely the worst. Definitely the worst.
Why are you hiding here? What are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, I guess I could play some video games.
Oh, fun, like what?
Yeah, what about, what's that game called? Every FPS guy talks about it. Project Warlock. What do you think about playing some Project Warlock?
As long as it's a happy game. Oh heavens to Murgatroyd, this game's abominable! Atrocious even!
Fine, why don't you exit stage left, you giant pussy? I'm gonna get back to playing some games, because that's what I do, goddammit. And today we're gonna be playing some Project Warlock. That's right, this game was in high demand on my channel, and that's why Cortana beat me into submission, because I hadn't played it yet. I was wasting time. I was sitting around playing with my dick instead of playing the actual game. And then I tried to get some other friends, and they ended up being giant pussies.
Now do you understand why I'm so hard on you?
Yeah, I get it. We live in a very toxic, symbiotic relationship that's never going anywhere. I understand, Cortana, and I understand that you're not getting into this fucking house no matter what you say after what you did to me. I don't stand for this kind of abuse. I'll see you on the next video. But yeah, I decided to play some Project Warlock, and one thing that you notice right away with this game is its weird-ass art style. Because in one aspect, it's trying to look like Doom. I see it, I feel it, every little corner. This is a Doom-like. It is 100% a Doom-like. It honestly feels like I popped in this game and I jumped all the way back to the 90s. I haven't picked up any other boomer shooter that quite feels as 100% like a Romero game as this shit. I mean, the fact that they even got Romero to do an ad for Project Warlock 2 shows that this game is Romero as fuck. It comes in with that giant Romero dick, not the little Daikatana dick, but like the old Romero giant penis. I don't know why I'm obsessing about John Romero's penis so hard right now. Kind of an awkward place to be. Just mindful of Romero penis. I don't need no Romero dick. Alright, weird fucking time for you to show up, Duke Nukem, but okay, I guess everybody's in this video. Even Snagglepuss. Why? Why won't these people leave me alone? And why are they just driving me insane? I sit around in my room and they just talk to me all the time. Ooh, breathe, King Jiffy, breathe, King Jiffy. Back to the game. But one thing that actually kind of threw me off when I first started playing this game is the weapon designs. I think they're interesting. It's almost like looking at the post-Doom era where you weren't getting the build engine games anymore, where it was kind of just a picture on screen and it looked a little better. It's a little muddier. It's almost like the 3D animations of the early 3D games, where everything was kind of blocky, kind of Dusk-esque. But also, it's just a post-on-paper bullshit of the 2D shooter era. It's this weird hybrid of both, which I low-key fuck with. Actually, no. High-key, baby. High-key. I'm coming in there with that skibbity bullshit, bro. That Gen Z excitement over this. I really like the way these guns look, is basically what I'm getting at. I think they're really beautiful, and honestly, some of the enemies are kind of hit and miss in their designs. I think especially during the weird Egypt chapter, because like all old games, you gotta have an Egypt chapter, I guess. So many of them do. If you're gonna have a game where you're bouncing through different dimensions or different time periods, you gotta have a fucking Egypt level. And they're usually the worst enemy designs. I don't know what it is, unless it's Serious Sam, where it's just aliens and you're in Egypt for some reason, because Serious Sam is goated and it did it the best. But for the most part, when you go to fucking Egypt, it just kind of isn't the best designs on enemies. And I remember the first time I saw screenshots from this game, I saw these weird roly-poly fucking looking guys, right, with their weird eye that they throw at you. I mean, they're functionally cool designs on in gameplay, but when you just see them, they're boring, bro. They're fucking boring. And that was the only real gripe with the entire art style of the game, was during this Egypt section. I really didn't think that one enemy looked cool. But for the most part, the rest of the enemies in this game are really, really good looking, and the weapon designs are incredible. Though they are kind of muddy and a mix between that 2D and 3D era, it's just something that you don't see a lot. It's different, and it harkens back to a time where you really miss, you know? It's an actual boomer shooter. This game is all the other boomer shooters out there need to look at what Project Warlock did with its one fucking developer and say, where they said, hey, I am making a Hexen Doom game and it's gonna be sick, and if you don't believe me, then fucking come play it and I will show you. I will present thy genitalia. I will show you my rusty vagina flaps, and you will suck upon them. You will slappeth your tongueth on my clitoris. And that's kind of what this game is. I mean, every boss fight is incredibly difficult and well made. I mean, yeah, a lot of them kind of boil down to shoot the shit till it dies, but it has enough moving parts in every single boss fight that it feels like you're actually doing something. It feels like you have to be strategic about it. And I don't know. Every time I ran into a boss in this game, I thought they were really, really fun and incredibly well designed. I can't think of a single boss in this game that wasn't just an awesome spectacle of a battle. I mean, even this one where I have to shoot its tentacles before I blast its butthole open. Absolutely awesome. It's usually I wait to talk about the boss fights, but I thought since I was talking about the art design early on in this video, I really wanted to highlight the designs of the boss fights. They're just so over the top. What this guy did compared to what a lot of developers are doing out there is he wanted to make this as cool as fucking possible and have as many cool designs from some of the best FPS games throughout the years. I mean, I can see inspiration from this game in so many other old games, but he did it in a way much like the respect I gave to Dusk. He did it in a way where I think, oh, this is kind of like Project Slave, or Power Slave, I mean, or, oh, this is a lot like Doom, but it's not like, it feels like it's a rip-off of Doom or Power Slave. It feels like it's very own authentic thing. At times, it almost feels like a build engine game, but then it's like, no, you can't jump, so it's more like a Doom type game, or Hexen. But then you're just bouncing back and forth. There's like and thens, and I love the fact that there is so many constant moving parts in that aspect. And the actual boss fights are just so grimy and good. It's just the art style in this game from start to finish, every little section, because this game's broken up into like 5 different parts that ends in a big boss fight. So every different era, it's very much like the closest example I could give you would be very, very much the Chasm game. If you haven't played Chasm the Rift, this is very similar to that, where you go to different eras and fuck shit up. And your whole purpose in this game is very basic as well. There is evil in the world. You are the Warlock. You must end the evil. And if you do that, you then become the ultimate badass. Like, when you end this game, you're sitting in a fucking chair, and the chair, basically, it reads over the screen like, you have killed all evil. You are now evil incarnate. Or the super being of the universe. You now reign over everything. You have defeated the biggest bad. You are the biggest bad now. And in that aspect, it is much more like Doom in its storytelling. It is very start level, finish level, move on to the next level, beat all evil, you are done. I see a lot of these boomer shooters kind of harkening on whether they should tell a story or whether they should just go by the old tried and true and just fuck shit up. And this game goes with the fuck shit up mantra. It is looking up rough porn on the hub. You are going in and pegging as hard as you can throughout every mission, and that's what this game is going for. It is going for metal as fuck, and you're getting metal as fuck. In terms of this game's difficulty, though, I do have to say that you're gonna lose a lot of players when playing this game. Now, I'm not the greatest FPS player, and I don't play on a PC. I'm a console snob, and I know that there are some really hard difficulty spikes in this game. where it just feels like shit is unattainable, where you are hitting your head against the wall until you finally accomplish your goal. My first real difficulty spike was against this giant pharaoh head in the Egypt level. Like I said, there was that one enemy in the Egypt level that I thought that roly-poly son of a bitch was really poorly designed, and I remember seeing the screenshots of this game, like I said, and I thought, that looks like shit, this looks like shovelware, not playing it. Eventually came around, I'm playing it now, great fucking game, don't be mad at me, but this part right here I thought was just such a fucking nightmare. It was so hard, and when I finally got the W that you're seeing on screen, I was so happy. But there are some insane difficulty spikes in this game, and a lot of it is comes from this game's whole upgrading system. Now, this game kind of considers itself a little bit different. Its main big difference that separates it from a lot of the other Doom clones or Hexen clones or whatever you want to fucking call it is its RPG elements. Now, I think Hexen had some RPG elements. I don't know, I haven't played Hexen. But this game definitely has them, and you go through, you upgrade your different guns to different abilities, and what sucks is some of the weapons against certain bosses will do nothing. They will not hurt the boss. They are completely fucking worthless, and you won't know that until you meet the boss itself, and once you've locked into this weapon upgrade, you are locked into that. Unlike Forgive Me Father, where you have the upgrades where you lock yourself out of different options, but you can reset your upgrades at any time, this game you are locked in, and there's really no way to like go and replay areas to rebuild XP. So once you hit an area, once you beat a section and you've upgraded your character, that's it, you're done. You are stuck with that choice, which can be great for replayability, but also can really suck when you get a weapon that before you really liked, and then you upgraded it because you thought it would be cool, and then instantly hate it. Now, there isn't any like blatantly hardcore examples of that for me in this game. For the most part, I really liked my choices, but I have talked to other people where this has happened to them, and it completely turned them off of the experience. Now, where I'm getting this is from my chat when I was playing this game. There were some people in there that it's like, yeah, I really like this game until I hit some really bad difficulty spikes and realized I put the wrong stats in the wrong place, and there was nothing I could do about it. In this game, because of its rudimentary system, I can 100% see how that happens. Because right away, I knew what stuff that I wasn't going to put any points into, and I could see how it could trick somebody. Because when you first get magic at the beginning of the game, you think, oh, this is probably going to be a really, really cool weapon by the end of the game. And I'm sorry, but that little magic wand you get at the beginning is fucking worthless, and there's nothing about it that's ever going to be good. I hated it. I thought it was a piece of shit. So I just didn't put any stats into magic, really. I just put it in health and the ability to carry more ammo, because that way I could just pump everything full of bullets. That was my fucking setup, was just vitality and bullet carrying. I think it was strength. And that's not to say that some of the magic powers weren't cool. By a certain point in the game, I had unlocked this weird electrical power where I put like a ball of lightning out into the field and it would just zap everybody into oblivion. I thought that was pretty cool, but I didn't see like completely re-scrapping all of my XP points into magic just so I could spam that. It just felt like, oh, if I'm in trouble, I'll use this. It's fine. I don't have a point in using the wand that much. One thing I did really like about this game, and what I think more games of this style should do, when you pick a certain category of guns, let's say you're picking the shotguns, and you have like an automatic shotgun as your variant for your upgrade of the regular shotgun, and then you have the super shotgun upgraded into a flat cannon, which is the correct choice. I don't even remember what the other choice for the super shotgun is, but when I saw that I was shooting metal shards that would light enemies on fire, I'm like, yeah, this is my fucking gun. What it does is it allows you to quick trigger between those two different styles of shotgun on the same ammunition. So on your weapon wheel, you have essentially go from having your normal like 6 guns or whatever to turning it into like 12, and you will get that ability to bounce between the two depending on your enemy type. If you got a bunch of mob of little enemies coming your way, you can switch to your weaker weapon on a quick fly. It's a kind of a cool inspirational design change from what we've seen tried and true over the years. It was something that, yeah, I've seen where you could quick pair weapons together in Doom, like Eternal and stuff, but this having it where you lock in and then you can switch between the same category, which essentially means that you have twice as many weapons that a normal game of this style would have. I don't know, I loved that. I think that more games should do that, and this game just having something different that I haven't seen was not something I thought going into it. Now, yes, this game does do a lot of original stuff, but when you're playing a boomer shooter, you're expecting to see a lot of the same you've already seen. It's a style that we've seen tried and true, so whenever a game comes out of the murk and does something completely different, it's something that should be taken notice of, and this game does do a lot of that, from its RPG elements to its different weapons and bouncing between weapons design. It's just really cool, and it's something that a lot of games should take note when something like this comes out, which is also like a giant fucking middle finger up to the AAA industry when these little indie games are able to do what they fucking can't. But you also have this little hub world, which is where you do all of your upgrades. Now, I was telling you a little bit about upgrades before, but you'll find little level up points on your thing, which goes to leveling up your weapons. And once you lock into a weapon design, you're stuck with that lock-in. You also have your level up your things. Like you saw, I put everything into sprint, capacity, and life. And no strength. No strength at all. I did not give a shit about strength. I said strength earlier because I could not remember. But after you get some, you'll also get some perk points, which will kind of like a perk system in Fallout, which add like other things. Like, oh, when you kill some enemies, you get more ammo, or you can hold more shotgun ammo. You get life for stabbing people with the knife. It has a bunch of different functionality like that, which I really appreciate. It's something that I think gets overlooked a lot in RPG style games. Is perks are so cool. Just having the ability to get something extra to tie to your character. It's something that when I first saw it in Fallout when I was a kid years ago, made my nipples so fucking hard that my shirts were blown out. All my shirts were blown out. I was the nipple king. I came in with my giant areolas and my tips of fire and burned all my shirts. And this game, reliving those memories through, but in a much smaller capacity, was something cool and something I did not expect to find in a boomer shooter that gets pumped out in the indie scene. It's something that could have been overlooked. They could have just made a cool FPS game, because base combat in this game is good enough that could have just pushed this game forward. And that's not to say that this game doesn't have its flaws. I have kind of touched on some of the stuff that I had nitpicks of, but like one big flaw in this game, and I didn't really get any footage of this for the video, is you can lock yourself out of whole areas by, if you walk up to a switch and hit a switch and then back off of the elevator, you will lock yourself on that floor. That elevator's not coming back down. Most FPS games, if you're like, oh, I didn't check this room, and you're like, never mind on the switch, and turn around and run over, you can come back and hit the action button, and that fucking elevator will come right back to you. It'll drop down on you, and you will be happy and will be able to ascend to a greater platform. It's like ascending after eating out down on a girl for like 30 minutes, and your jaw's starting to crack, and then she's like, I'm ready for it, and you can finally come up. But not in Project Warlock. Nope, you were locked down in that fucking basement and you gotta reset your checkpoint. And I really hated that. I felt like that is a fundamentally bad design. It's something that was overlooked, and it's crazy considering how much stuff was added into this game on such a small budget with such a small team, and able to just really put out this passion project, and something that simple was overlooked. That was just a huge gripe to me. I mean, I had to reload so many saves in this game just because of that, and it was just a nightmare. In terms of like a design, again, just kind of harken back on that, when I got to like the hell levels late in the game, they are some of the most gorgeous hell spaces I've ever seen. Beautiful open environments. This game knows how to take you from giant open areas and to put you into claustrophobic elements and pull you back into open areas so perfectly. It's so seamless. It always feels so natural. When you go into an open area, you know exactly what you got to do. You got to strafe. You got to really avoid dying at all costs, because like I said, this game is not a fucking sleepwalk. It is going to test your abilities. It's going to keep you on your toes. And that it also helps that it has these seamless transitions from going to internal areas to external areas, from open to tight all the time. It goes from loose bitch on the corner to tight virgin at a moment's notice, and you are enjoying it at every single second. And I bet you're wondering, how can the loose bitch be enjoyable? She knows how to ride a dick the Virgin does not. And I know I touched upon the whole weapon dynamic about how you can upgrade them and how you can switch through them really quick, but I don't think I touched upon how great these guns feel. It is one of the best feeling games. When you're jibbing shit, you're jibbing shit. You feel like you kill shit real good. Better than most games can kill shit. And I played a lot of slop, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know what I'm saying when I'm putting it down for you. This game has a lot of great elements going for it in terms of combat. You feel it's smooth, it's receptive. When you blow something up, you feel like you blew something up, and it's appreciated. It's an adrenaline shot right to the rim of the asshole. Fun fact, your asshole skin has the same skin as your mouth, so stop talking shit. I mean, take the game's BFG for a second. This gun talks shit. It fucking sprays shit on the floor and just does not mess around. It shoots a giant lightning ball, which the gun itself looks like a giant spaceship, which is cool and based and hard metal as fuck, and I love that. It's got some really everything feels so functionally beautiful. I almost said well-designed gunfire. What kind of idiot says that? King Jiffy Coates, that's who. It was one of those times where I sat in a game and I 100% every moment I was having so much fun during difficulty spikes, during anything this game threw at me. I was having fun because the game plays so well. Even with my small gripes and my little bullshit here and there was never a moment where I was like, okay, I'm done with this. And I've played a lot of games where about halfway through I say, yeah, this shit's not for me, and I throw it to the back of the fucking cupboard where the spiders live and have giant orgies. This game was not like this. This game is something I can see myself playing again in the future, just so I can try some of the different upgrade attempts and different weapon styles, see what I missed out on different types of play, because I feel like what I got in my playthrough this time was absolute peak. It was a peakity peak. It was absolute tippity top. It was great sloppy toppy, and that's what I enjoy. But I could see if somebody else picked a gun that they weren't quite jiving with, or a style of play that they really weren't having fun, and I want to see maybe this game has more faults, but from what my playthrough provided me, I had a great time, and I really want to see what the sequel pulls off with this shit. I feel like there is so much room for improvement even on this game, with it being as almost near perfect as it is. It's something that I want more of it, and I want to see how they improve upon it. I like this idea that a lot of these indie games are taking and they're doing a Doom style game for their first game, and then almost moving through the eras and slowly upgrading their style of game to a more modern style of gameplay, like they did back in the day. It's like we're watching the indie scene go back through the actual gaming history of our past, and it's so much more impressive than what the AAA industry is doing by just making games prettier with less fucking gameplay so they can lecture you for 30 hours in a cutscene. When these games are out here putting the fucking money on the line, kicking ass for way cheaper. I had more fun with this than any AAA game I can think of in the last 5-6 years. And it's crazy to me that this game costs $30. It's not even an expensive game. I think I ended up paying $5 for this on sale. It is a very cheap game. These indie titles are constantly on sale for pennies on the dollar. It's insane what you're able to get away with on prices for these games. And yet, Sony wants to charge you $70 for something that's going to be 85% cutscenes. It's insane to me that we live in this era where the indie games are the ones that are kicking ass. That's not to say that indie games haven't kicked ass in the past. I mean, you can look at examples like Minecraft and other shit like that just took the industry by storm. But this era, we're really looking at a renaissance here. We're looking at a renaissance of different creators looking back on their games that they loved from their childhood and said, yeah, I'm making that, and I'm going to put it out on the market, and people are going to love it. It's about being able to put out a product that you're proud of and that's fun as shit. And then I look at the AAA industry, and I just don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. I don't understand why all these games are costing $500 million, and then when you play it, it feels worse than its older counterparts. counterparts. A great example of that is something like God of War Ragnarok. Now, this is a hot take, but I don't like that game. I found it regressive, and I found it so regressive, in fact, that I thought that God of War 18 was a regressive piece of shit compared to God of War 3, because they focused too much on trying to tell a grand story instead of on how the gameplay is fun. And to see these indie devs hitting brass tacks and just putting fun gameplay over anything else is so impressive to me, and I can't say that enough in enough videos. And it's games like this that really prove that point, where every gun feels good, every level is fresh and new and wonderful to traverse, without doing what some of the old games did, where having that issues where you'd go to different areas like Egypt and hell and sci-fi, and you'd bounce between these different realms. These newer indie games are looking at the mistakes of the past and some of the games they loved and saying, how can we improve on that? How can we make a game like that without copying it? And you get games like Project Warlock, who are able to look at the greatness of the past and say, I'm gonna take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, without taking that exactly, without putting it in the game and saying, do you remember? And a lot of this is going to be overlay from my Dusk video, because I feel like Dusk and this are great examples of what indie shooters are doing on the market right now. It's this new idea that these guys are like, yeah, I love those games. How can I make that game and still give love to those? And it's something you don't see anymore in the newer modern industry. It's not, these newer games just aren't looking at what made them great and trying to improve on that design and bring the consumers what they wanted from the past. They're just shoving shit out the door and saying, look how pretty my graphics are, now suck my wiener, you are my bitch secretary. I mean, you can feel the passion in a game like this 100% in every level. You go through and you see, oh, there might be a little thing over there, how do I get to that? And then you go through the entire map and look for maybe a little cut in the wall, a crack in the wall, hey, maybe a switch will lead you deep into the crevices of this wonderful map design, and you're constantly looking for that type of stuff. Now, I'm not a secret hunter in games. I will play through a game and I will maybe find the occasional secret here or there, but this game had me loving the secrets so much that I was running along walls just pounding the fucking open door button. I was pounding it so hard, dude. I haven't even pounded my own dick that hard since probably middle school. This game constantly had me looking for little secrets here and there because I could see them off in the distance. This game was constantly letting the little chimpanzee with symbols in the back of my head play constantly. It was like, do this, you want to go have fun, you want to explore our wonderfully designed mission structure. And I love the fact that this game did that. It also is cool how each level ends with a door, right? Like every game does, but instead of it just being a switch like every single other boomer shooter does, nah, it's a door with a face on it that shoots at you and you have to kill the door. That's just something that I would have never thought of, and that's what I love about games like this, that take the pre-existing notions that you had in the back of your head and say, no, I've seen that, it's been done, I have actual love for this industry, and I'm gonna show you I have love by doing something different that I know you're going to fuck with. And that is so cool to me, and I hope that all inspiring developers out there who are like thinking, I should make an FPS game, go play Project Warlock, go play Dusk, play these indie experiences, because they're doing what you want to do, but better right now. You need to learn from these games and then push to the future, because this is the shit that's going to take over the industry. It's not whatever cinematic bullshit we're getting next week. It's this. We are in the time of greatness right now, and you should be out playing these fucking games instead of watching my videos. I love you guys. I think it's great. Like my video, comment, subscribe, mother trucker. Subscribe, mother trucker. Come enjoy my content, but also go play these games, because if there's something I want to get out of all these videos that I really like the game on, is that I want you to go play it yourself and then come to my comments and let me know what you think of the game. I love when I can have conversations about different people and what they thought on these individual experiences. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit of a deep dive, a bit of a rant, but that's what I am. If you're coming to a King Jiffy Coach video expecting anything other than that, you don't know what you're doing. But I hope you had a good time, and I'll catch you on the next one.